Yo, what's up, party people? Hey, listen, I believe I've covered Sun-Kissed Island from the Zed creators. We have another Zed creator that we're going to talk about today. And even though it's the one least talked about, the people that do talk about this seem to believe that this is probably the best fragrance in the lineup. Now, we don't have a huge sample size of people comparing all three, but let's just dive into it, see it for what it is, and see if we've got an excellent new vanilla fragrance on our hands. Strap up. All right, welcome to the scent bubble. I was trying to make the sound right. I am your host for the evening. Today, from the house of Zaharoff, we have one of our Zed creators. This is IBERE. Now, this is from, I believe, TheGiantConnoisseur, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, I didn't botch that name. I'm not super familiar with that guy. I think he was a wrestler previously, and I don't know where he ties into the Zaharoff relationship or how he got into the ZedCreator, or I don't even know much about the Zed creators as a concept, even though I do know Justin and Ross more. But we have a vanilla fragrance on our hands, unisex, sensual, evening vanilla, I believe, is kind of what it's geared towards. 4.47 out of 5, only 60 votes, but a mass appeal score nonetheless so far. Fragrance was launched in 2025. The nose behind this fragrance was Matilde Bajawi. The story is this is a release in collaboration with Jordan Amoghbehin. Hopefully I said that right. Named after the Yoruba word for the beginning, it represents the theme of renewal and cycles. The composition opens with a bunch of stuff I'm not going to tell you and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so no real super story behind this. Classification for this fragrance is a Oriental vanilla. And let's engage. I'm going to do, I think I only needed one spray on my hand. Pretty big aggressive atomizer. I'm going to put 2 on the test strip. Oriental vanilla. Now, what I can say so far is that with the Zed creators, you are getting very quality material. In the niche realm, I don't know where I would categorize each one, so I'm kind of just treating them individually. But a lot of people seem to love this one. Sun-Kissed Island. It's kind of like if you like beach scents, you'll like it. Probably not fall in love with it because there's nothing extremely different about it comparatively to some of the fragrances I compared it to. But it is a very quality scent in my opinion. It just comes down to whether or not you like that stuff or not. And there's also a lot of competitive fragrances in that suntan lotion, beachy, sandy, citrus kind of experience, muskiness. We will touch on the third from Justin to finish this off. But as far as this scent, I immediately get a kind of a middleweight, slightly dense, slightly ashy, intimate vanilla. This is like almost like an ashy, more vibrant, brighter personality to something like Grand Soir. Grand Soir is very buttery, warm, sensual, ambery vanilla. This is certainly ambery, but it's more on a dry, woody experience, but the vanilla is quite dense. And it is a good scent. Super mass appealing, super familiar in terms of, you know, the blend is balanced. The scent profile is very familiar in terms of it's not an intimidating vanilla or different type of vanilla. This is a very simple vanilla with making use of textures to feel quality and to feel distinct in the marketplace. I think of a lot of vanillas when I smell this fragrance to see what this would be competing with. You know, I think of Absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio. I think of Grand Soir. I think of Memoirs of a Trespasser from Imaginary Authors. I mean, really, when you think about amber vanillas, there's no shortage of that scent style in perfumery. So on one hand, this fragrance has a lot of competition in its space, and so it's kind of hard to just insert yourself in that lane and really dominate. But I think, though I'm not insanely impressed by this, it's highly respectable and super practical as an intimate evening wear. Let's go ahead and see the notes in this bad boy to see if we can make out any nuance. So notes to this fragrance: nutmeg, pink pepper, sugar, dried fruits, ambrit, lavender, vanilla, tonka bean, amberwood, cedarwood, and moss. Another vanilla fragrance that this imitates quite close, actually, now that I saw the lavender there, is it immediately made me think about Le Male Elixir. And I am going to, for the sake of the review, grab a fragrance. So especially as we talk about clones as a valid alternative, I immediately thought in my mind, does this beat even the cheapest, best clone of Le Male Elixir in my eyes? Probably first place to Lionheart. Lattafa's Kingdom, which is going after Le Male Elixir. This one's more, Kingdom is more lavendery and a little bit more silky, suede-ish. This one's a little bit more woody and ashy. But gosh, they are so freaking close. Definitely a lot more, double the lavender in Kingdom. Kingdom's just sensual, bro. It's like, it's the vanilla lavender cousin to Dior Homme. Somewhere between Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum. It's just such a sexy scent. Gosh, one of the best clones out there, period. Yeah, I mean, I love IBERE on my skin a lot more than the test strip, because on the test strip, after a while, it feels like it really loses a lot of life. But I feel as though on my wrist or on my hand, the scent actually has some good staying power, like at least 6 strong hours of 3 to 4 feet of projection, a decent little tail of sillage. Just a very easy to wear, intimate fragrance, whatever intimacy looks like. Sundown, date. Your lady would just love being into this scent profile, you know, close to your jacket. I do think Kingdom is better, but, you know, that's great news for clone lovers. But in terms of, man, it's amazing how good lavender makes vanilla feel. Okay, I'm done comparing, but Kingdom is great. So again, it is like somewhere in between, and I don't know which one specifically because I don't have the scents in front of me, and they're so close to each other, it's shocking. But the 3 fragrances that this imitates for me is Memoirs of a Trespasser, Le Male Elixir, and probably either Grand Soir, but it's 1/3 of the potency of Grand Soir because this is a much ashier take. It's probably closer to a marriage between Le Male Elixir and Memoirs of a Trespasser. Very good scent. I give this... actually, let's fall back a second. Let me conclude some things real quick. Evening wear for me year round. Fall, winter, all day approved. Mass appeal for sure. Very, very good quality. I mean, it's not, there's not a lot of wow factor to it for me outside of the opening. It's just, you know, I think it's around or above a lot of designer scents. But even Le Male Elixir, I think, takes this to much more sexy territory. It just doubles down. You know, when you're dealing with an ashy, airy take on, or aromatic take on a vanilla, it's really a preference thing. But I just feel like the more dry and airy you go with that profile, the less intimate it feels and more casual, you know, friends, but I want to ask you out kind of sentiment. I love the intense, unapologetic, buttery or heavy or dense forwardness with the vanilla profile in it as it relates to making intimate scents. And this just doesn't have that, but it's got enough to be intimate. I'm going to give this an 8. This is a high 8 though, like at least 8.5 if I was decimal. Oh, I had to blow air out of my nose for some reason. I just felt congested. That probably looked crazy on camera, but we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it. Yeah, 8 because I do whole numbers. I don't think it's enough to go 9, but it is not a low 8 because of the utility. I mean, this could replace a lot of your intimate sense, but it is somewhat simple. The only nuance to it is that if you're not a fan of intense ambery, vanilla, tobacco, lavendery type scents, like if Le Male Elixir was too intense for you, this is a great alternative because it's just slightly less intense. And because of that, it has a little bit more of an aromatic, dry, woody presence to it. I like it. Very, very respectable. It's hard to miss on a fragrance like this because all you have to focus on is balance. All the notes just go together, and the balance is superb. I find it to be somewhat simplistic. You know, there's just every vanilla I can think of in the niche world is just a bit better. You know, Grand Soir for sure, Absolute Aphrodisiac for sure. Memoirs of a Trespasser is on par with it. Which is better or worse is not by much. Le Male Elixir is better. But it's hard to say that about a fragrance. This is an original creation from somebody, so I don't want to be that critical about it because I will totally wear all of this. This will not be going in the giveaway because it is a great scent. So well done there. And it has that Zaharoff quality to it. Anything else I want to say? Price, I mean, it's hard to find these fragrances. That's the hard part, right? Let's see. Zaharoff Iberé. Let's see what it's hitting for in terms of price and availability. $155 for the price. Is it available though? Not even seeing it available. It's out of stock on the site. So maybe IBERE is sold out eventually as well. I was always confused about that because Ross and Justin sold out first, then Ross, I think within the first week or two of marketing. IBERE seemed to always kind of be a little bit available, but it's cool to see that this sold out because IBERE definitely deserves to be among the Zed creators. I was always wondering about the Giant Connoisseur because I've seen some of his content, but I was always wondering, you know, would his scent be able to compete? Which of course it would, right? Because Zaharoff's curating it. All three of them are friends. They probably smelled each other's mods and, you know, made sure everybody was, you know, taken care of on that. But shout outs to the Giant Connoisseur. This was a banger for sure. I would definitely get a lot of wear with this. And alternatives is everything else that I named will get you very close. Again, I think the closest fragrance to this is Memoirs of a Trespasser, which you can comfortably get around $75. So if price consciousness is something you're going after, Lataffa Kingdom's $30. Sometimes it's even $20. Memoirs of a Trespasser you can comfortably get around $75 to $80. Grand Soir is $200-300. And Absolute Aphrodisiac north of that. So you got a lot of price point options. Again, that's the great thing about vanilla in perfumery is you have a lot of price conscious alternatives, and vanilla has been done for so long that many people can do it well. It's really not hard to mess up. Yeah, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. This was the Giant Connoisseur in collaboration with Zaharoff's Iberê. And it was a banger. I'm going to throw some videos up based off what you've been searching for. Hey, guys, if you've tried all the Zed creators, where does this rank in your 1, 2, and 3 for best to worst? Please put it in the comment section below. I would love to get a conversation started about that. And I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. Join my free Discord. It's in the description below. And that's where I'm dropping a lot of not just exclusive content, but a lot of exclusive value that I don't put out there because I'm trying to build a little micro community within the macro community. But I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. And until next time, peace.